Hello everyone, I'm Professor Geek. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a review of Edgar Allan Poe's Snifter of Terror from Ahoy Comics. And this comic is crap. I don't normally start out a review right out of the gate like that, but man, this is just awful. I am so disappointed too, because I was looking forward to something great. But this is my second review of an Ahoy Comics title. They're brand new. They originally, or the first title that they released, the one that I'd reviewed, was The Wrong Earth, which I dearly loved in story. I thought the story was going very well, but I, at that time, didn't know anything about Jamal Igle or what kind of a jerk he was on Twitter and how condescending he is to those who might not share his worldviews or whatever. And once I found that out, even though his art was great and the title and the story was great, I just, just couldn't see still giving that money. So I dropped that title, The Wrong Earth, myself, just personally. Feel free to let me know if you're still subbing to it or not. But I wanted to check out this one too because I'm a huge Poe fan, and that's probably a disclaimer I should make to the beginning of this. I come to this title not only as a comic book reader, as a professor, a writing professor who studies the construct of stories and whatnot, but also as a diehard Edgar Allan Poe fan. I've done a lot of graduate work on Edgar Allan Poe. I grew up around Central Virginia. He grew up in the Richmond area. I've been to the Poe Museum there countless times. I used to hang out in front of his old dorm room at the UVA. I've been to his grave in Baltimore. Growing up in elementary school, we were, taught Poe. I mean, this is just Poe country. And so he's always been a part of my life, and I studied him thoroughly. I got to know the historical character as well as his work, and that was a big topic for me. So if I see a title, I see his name on something, I'm going to gravitate toward it. Now, when I first saw this cover, I was really turned off. I do not like this cover at all. But I knew enough to know that that was probably some of my taste coming through there, so I thought, well, give it a try. I mean, hopefully the story will be good. It wasn't, but I at least thought to give it a try. This cover, it's not only, in my mind, disrespectful to Poe, but it's also just, it misses the mark. Poe's not a in-your-face, grisly, check out the blood, check out the gore. Poe's not a slasher story writer. Poe is also a poet. He's known for writing his horrific stories, but he's also a poet, and that is such a integral part of his tales, because in the prose, even in the prose of his terror-ridden stories, they're written in a way, the sentence cadence and the way that it draws you in, especially to those first-person narrators. That's the beauty of his work, and there's an elegance to it. It's not just about check out my blood and gore and all of that. And I'm sorry to say that the stories are basically that as well. Oh, they're just awful. So that we start out with meeting Poe at his table there, and he's going to narrate this story for us. Cool idea, right? Except we're not meeting the great Poe, the great mind, the great writer, the great Elliot. We're meeting Poe the drunk, because that's so much more interesting, right? Let's just meet Poe the disillusioned alcoholic who's like, fine, here's a story, whatever. Oh, and also he talks about having syphilis, and he's gonna, which that's not a historical accuracy, but he's gonna cough up crap in his hand and wipe it on his face, and then tell you, okay, here's my story. That's not, if you like Poe at all, then this is crap. Then you're not going to enjoy this, because this is not proper representation of him. And the story, oh my gosh, this story. So the first story here, Facts in the Case of M. Valdemar. This is an actual short story by Edgar Allan Poe, and the comic book just completely bastardizes it. So this is by Tom Payer, this story, and look at gross art. Just this is art is like something you'd see in a Mad magazine or a Cracked magazine. That's just, it's gross. And in the story, the basic setup of the story that Poe wrote, of course, was that M. Valdemar was a man who had a mesmerist who diagnosed, and he was diagnosed with tuberculosis, so you knew he was going to die soon, and the idea was, what if you could be mesmerized, put in a trance right at the moment of death? And, would your body decay? Would your soul stay? What would happen, and all of this kind of stuff? So that's a great story. That's an elegant story of terror. It slowly builds the trance on you with the prose as you read it through. Great Poe classic. But not Ahoy Comics. Ahoy Comics says, hey, you know what? That great elegant tale of terror. Let's like show him coughing up crap on some food. Let's make him a chef, and let's like make it a party, and then let's show the boils on his face and everything, and then let's just kind of have him explode on the orchestra. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah, and then they're like eating him. Wouldn't that be cool? What the hell? What is this crap? This is just utter... I can't even... There aren't enough words for what a piece of garbage this comic book is. Everybody who worked on this comic book should just be ashamed of themselves. It's just... Oh, it's awful. It's awful. That was the first story. Then we've got... And you can see this is a teaser for like the next one. I mean, who pays for this garbage? Anyway. The next story, Dark Chocolate, is not a Poe story, obviously. It has some resonances of different Poe stories, some of the setups and whatnot. And the basic construct of the story, having this vampire who has these daily meals, these banquets, in which he must try to finish them up quickly before the sun reaches him. And when the sun does reach him, he must bear with it so no one knows his secret that he's a vampire. That's a cool concept. But the story is ruined by making it this cheesy little... breakfast cereal kind of, so the vampire is basically Count Chocula, and Captain Crunch comes to his breakfast story table there, and it's Frankenberry's there. It's ridiculous. There's no reason for that. That doesn't add anything to the story. That's just the authors trying to say, hey, wouldn't this be funny? Look what we did there. Do you guys see what we did? It's funny, right? No, it's not funny. It's stupid. It's stupid. At least the art in this story is pretty good. I do like the art of the Dark Chocolate tale. But it's garbage. It's garbage. I didn't even bother reading the prose. Ahoy Comics like to put little prose stories in. I don't care. Dang thing. Look at the art's great. It's a shame because the art's gorgeous. But no. And then I didn't even. Look at this. I mean, you don't even need to read it. It's just boom, 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 boom. This is the level of entertainment that Ahoy Comics thinks that you want out of your comic book. They think that is what you want in a tale about the great classic Edgar Allan Poe. Garbage. I'm not really set up to stab or burn a comic, but if I was, this would totally get torched because this is crap. So, alright, I need to do something to cleanse my palate from that. I'm not a historical purist on Poe at all. I mean, I do love, I've got up here The Raven, the John Cusack tale, which took some elements of his tales and elements of his life story and weaved them into this fictional story, which is great. It made him the detective archetype that he began in his tales, and it's a wonderful movie, very, very underrated, and a lot of people don't know about it or didn't catch it. I highly recommend people do catch it, because it's awesome. Maybe we'll do a rewatch on the channel soon. So I don't need the stories or anything about him to be 100% pure to his work and pure to his life and the facts or historically accurate or anything. Just be true to the spirit. If you're going to use the name Poe, if you're going to use his work, then at least honor what's so cool about it. It's, yeah, so I'm going to avoid Ahoy Comics. They've not earned points with me. The Wrong Earth, I said, it was a great story idea, executed well, but with the people involved, and then this silly nonsense, so not too happy with them. But let me know what you think, if you are as put off by this as I am. If you are a Poe fan at all, I would definitely like to know that within your comment. If you like the story and you're not a Poe fan, well, that would make sense. But let me know. I'll be back with more reviews, some happier reviews, and we'll do more rewatches and everything. But until then, keep enjoying and digging deeper into the hero and horror, Halloween, whatever stories you love. Thanks for watching.